Um, it's been a while. I did put up a few videos along the way, but I just wanted to give you some updates since I was pretty optimistic, and I still am in a way, but I just wanted to give you some realistic numbers. And I came across with the major news media, people, especially young people, are not really concerned about COVID-19 infections. This news was about people visiting Miami, and young people are interviewed, and I'm gonna put a link there, and maybe you can just look at it. But so I can totally see that the infection rate is accelerating, but still somewhat optimistic, still cautious. But I think we are actually getting to the point where we are probably not going to face the situation similar to Italy, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So let me do the screen share. So today, it's as of March 23rd, 2020. And again, you're looking at, let me see, let me actually do the screen share. So I failed to do the screen share. So let me try that again. And I'll do this. All right. You are looking at my just tablet surface. So again, my actual tablet is down here. So I'm just going to look up and down. But anyways, so this is what's happening. So what you're looking at is probably you have seen this table before, but this is the case of state of New York. And the reason I chose this particular state was because they are one of the earlier cases of occurrence. And turns out that there are a number of infection cases is one of the higher ones, probably the highest. Because out of 33,000 cases, roughly 20,000, out of two-thirds of it is happening instead of New York. So it's quite a lot. Anyways, combined, and a couple others are California, and dispersed along among surrounding states from New York City. But anyways, going back, so there are currently about 20,000 cases, confirmed cases, as of March 23rd. So keep that in mind. And it started out with March 4th. So again, we have actually a pretty good number of trend here. And you probably have seen, and if you haven't, and I have a video link down, actually in my case, up, down here. Overall increase was pretty stagnant per day basis. And the past couple of days also going up about 5,000 a day. So it was a little bit concerning at around March 18th, because we have 1,000, and then 1,000 new patient just emerged from the previous day, from 1,500 to 1,057. It's roughly 1,000 more. Originally, the day before was the increase of 594. So it's going double and double. So this is probably because people weren't aware at the time. And then, it takes about 3 days. Remember, for many cases, the symptom starts happening somewhere between an incubation period, somewhere between one day is as short as 1 day. But on average, the incubation period is roughly 3 to 5 days. So, people start developing actual symptom like, fever, some people's cases are mild, but, runny nose, coughing, fever and so on. But, it takes about 3 days to actually start seeing the effect, to become aware that people who are infected are actually infected. So in this case, people would start unawarely, people start, touching things, so infection increases. And, this sort of explains for about past 3 days. It's sort of like when, double and tripled numbers. And then it continues that trend, so every one patient was infecting 2 people. But once it reaches about 3,000, 5,000 to 8,000, then, about 3,000. And it's actually pretty stagnant in terms of number of infections. So I think people are becoming aware that, of course, this is around the time where actual businesses are starting to shut down. So there aren't as many people out there to interact. And of course, in New York City, for example, they still have lots of people. And also more people who have been previously infected will start merging again after certain days of incubation period and having symptoms. So currently, people are not being tested, and some people might go to the hospital with the fever and don't get tested, and then they are sent home to wait, which is, I think it's the good thing that the hospitals are doing that, because they're controlling the people who are really needed a extensive care to be actually to be seen at the hospital. So in that case, I think it's pretty good. But anyways, so again, number of cases, as people start developing symptoms like difficulty breathing with high fever after several days, then that's the time to actually get tested. And of course, you want to isolate yourself, or these people, should be probably isolated themselves. But anyways, so in this case, the number has been pretty stagnant every day, roughly about 3,000 people. In this case, if you look at it, next day only 2,000 people were confirmed, and then 5,000, which looks like a lot, but when you look at it, right now we have 20,000 people actually being confirmed cases, but again, there are false positives. Now I think the testings are now in the combination of antibody testing as well as PCR testing. So I think the testing results actually come out a little bit faster. But anyways, the point is that there's still false positives. But in this case, I think testing is actually done to people who actually have the severe symptoms, or at least the suspected symptoms. They're not just testing randomly. Testing is done quite differently from other countries, especially in Europe or other parts of Asia. So, but if you look at these, cases past, several days, but if you look at something called moving average, so, if you look at it past 3 days in average, and moving average is, typically you see this kind of concept like stock trading, and then you look at the actual trend of the past, 3 to 5 days average prices of the stocks, and you can apply the similar principle. And in the next video, I'll apply the moving average, and then actually I'll show you so that you can see the actual general trend. But it doesn't, it fluctuates, obviously, but, that would smoothen out the actual, spikes of, either positive or negative directions. And then sort of smoothen out, and you can see the general trend is actually, more people are being infected. I am still concerned, but I wouldn't call it as not concerned, but I'm still, again, cautious. But I don't have the view like, the world is ending, and it's not. So keep that in mind. Stay tuned. So in terms of the general trend, inherently people are, going to get infected. Unfortunately, certain people, especially if you happen to be a risk group, you will have a severe case. Some people will experience actual invasive treatment. But as far as the numbers concerns, it's actually not going out of control, and see a lot of media saying things will go like Italy. And I don't think that's going to happen as of right now. And again, it could change because, again, after seeing the news in people having vacations in Florida, in Miami, saying that they are not too concerned and living only once, life once or something like that. That's concerning, that part. But I think as far as the majority of us concerns, I think hopefully this will subside somewhere between about 3 to 4 weeks, and I'll tell you why I think so as well. But anyways, again, we're not going to have the zero numbers in 3 to 4 weeks. What I mean is the number of new infection will probably start subsiding in roughly about 3 to 4 weeks, and I'll tell you why. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.